So we have Smart Ad over here now, and if you go into campaigns, you're going to find pretty much everything that you need right here. And so we have all the different categories: top banner, premium A, premium B, and we have 1 and 2 for them, premium C, and we have our button ads down there for the bottom as well. Now, when you click into any one of these, you'll see that they can have multiple ads for that spot. And then when we're looking at the multiple ads, we're saying that there is that we have several ads, but only one can show up per campaign in that spot on any given page load. So the point of that is that you can't have it be here that St. James and main VSN are both showing up in this spot in the top banner place on this same page, stacked one on top of the other, which is fine. That's what we're desiring to have happen anyway. So we have St. James here, and we've said that we want it to be included only on the St. James and Lucher pages. And then we have our main VSN ad, and that's the one that we have here. And we're saying it can only be on pages that are not St. James and Lucher. And so you have your exclude down here, and you have your include. To be able to add categories or post or pages or anything like that to this list, you simply start typing. So let's say we wanted it to be that then the St. James Hospital ad was also showing up on another school like Destrehan. Then we have the category, and we can add that on there. And if we clicked update here or update all up here, then that would become a part of it as well. But we're not really wanting to do that right now. And within each one of these ads, then we have options, and the image and the link have already been set on these ones that I've made. But let's make a new one, and we're not going to make it live actually, but we're going to make a new one, and so we can choose image. You could also have it be that there's video or iframe or something else going in that spot, but for us we're choosing to do an image most of the time based on the way that you all have ad things set up right now. And so we're going to say that this is a sample ad so that we don't forget, and we could choose to have it show up in specific places. Right now we're just wanting to create a new ad that's going to be in that main spot. You can schedule it, and you can have it be that then there are maximum number of views, maximum number of clicks, anything like that, but most of the time that's not what you all are going to be doing, at least based on what you've done so far. So we link to google.com, we're going to choose a random image, and the nice thing about these images is they don't actually have to be the exact size that has been set for that ad, and they will still show up as that size. So this one here, the width is 960 and the height is 90. And so even though we chose an image that was nothing like that, these whatever image we take from here, see this is nothing the same, it's 1700 by 1220, it's going to make that the background image for that size. And that means that if you ended up having something that was 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels for that spot, then it would still work, or whatever other dimensions could work fine. Now it might not show up perfectly, and it might crop out something, but it will show up there, and it will not make things get crazy on your site if you have the wrong image size. And the place where it becomes especially relevant is if you are having an image that is larger than that you're putting into a smaller spot. So if someone sends you a 500 pixel by 500 pixel sized ad in a place that's supposed to be 200 by 200, you don't have a problem. You don't need to resize that or anything. It'll fit in there just fine. Now on this background image type, you can do contain or cover. Generally we're going to do contain because we want to make sure we get the full ad and it doesn't crop, but you could also do cover if you want to make sure that it does 100% cover what you're looking at. Either way is fine. And then once you're ready to make this live, you click update like we said, and then that will be live on the site, and it will show up where it's supposed to show up. So this is the top banner spot, and then it would show up here at the top. In general, then you're going to want to just have one ad that is active at a time for any given spot. You could make it so that then this rotates between two different ads. And so if you have two different ads that are active, and by active I mean that they're not paused over here, you could pause this at any time, and then you could turn it back on at any time. If you have two different ads that are active, like we do right now for sample ad and for main VSN ad that show up on every page, then you would have it be that every time you load, it loads a different one, and it rotates out which one of those is loading. And that might be something you want to explore in the future, having more than one ad for those spots. It's a little simpler to just have one per spot, but you can do it how you please. If you think that you're just done with an ad for that moment and you think you might come back to it, go ahead and just pause it. If you think you're done with it forever, like we are with this one, then delete the ad, and then it's gone forever. And then you'd have to remake it if you ever want to remake it again. So that's how you get it added to the top banner spot or premium A, premium B, any of these button ad spots. They all work the same way. They have stats that show up here that give you the basic number. You can know that they've been clicked a couple of times and that they've been viewed a few thousand times. You can also export that information with the entire campaign. So for all of them, you can see how they compare there between the main VSN and the St. James Hospital ads. You can also get the stats for a single one, and then you can export them, and it will download basically what you're seeing there, just a basic chart, so that then you can show that to somebody else, show that to a client if you want to. And you can choose the dates and so forth to be able to make it look the way that you want it to look, and it will give you the information that you need to be able to help them out, knowing whether things are working well. Let's see, so I think that covers really most of what we need to see in this part. If you ever want to add a new campaign, you can do so, and it's going to give you a short code is going to be the way you're normally going to do it. Let's create a sample campaign here real quick just so we can know the basics. You might need some more help with this once you are actually executing this, but for right now we'll just go ahead and make one just so we have some of the basics out of the way. And we can name it whatever we're going to name it. So let's say you wanted it to be that you wanted an ad that was on every post. At the end of it you wanted a certain ad. So then you would say post ad 1, and then we are going to say it's going to be a centered ad, and then get your short code there. The only difference is where it says align center. And we're going to put this one, you can do it after content this way, or you can go take it as a short code and go paste it in there manually where you want it to be. In this case, let's go ahead and go with after content, and we'll center that. We're going to activate it, and under options down here you can set the width. This width can be pixels or percentage. We're going to say 300 pixels. The height is only pixels, and so you don't have to put px afterward. Don't put px afterward or it won't work. And then we're going to say we're not going to show the link underneath it, and then we're not going to set any change interval. If we did, that would mean that it would be scrolling through ads in that spot, and we're not trying to do that right now. So we're going to add a new ad type, and this is all now just the same as it was before. And you can set your image file, link, everything like that, and at the end of every post, because we said after content, then it's going to show up like that. And you can also do things like all posts here, and you can make it so that then you want to exclude posts from a certain category. You can start putting these things together to make it pretty specialized on where you want it to show up. That might be of value to you at some point to create some more campaigns like that. If you have something though that you're trying to get implemented, then it's perfectly fine to talk to us and we can give you some advice on how to best add that to the site. It shouldn't normally be too difficult to get it added, and so if you ever find yourself facing difficulties, then there's probably something that needs to be done a little differently. But that covers all the basics, and these things work the same on other sites in general. And so if you have other questions or trouble, let us know. We'll be happy to help out.